Take these chains away and set me free. Remove me out of bondage, and we will all agree.
Blessed my people, welcome back. You see me? Today we're gonna talk about a late, great reggae vocalist who went by the name Bob Andy. You know, Bob Andy is an icon, you know what I mean? A legend of our music. He's one of those individuals who set the foundation for artists today can eat a food. Same way, yeah man, so we're gonna take a look at his journey because you know, Bob Andy, as a young man, had a lot of challenges while he's growing up. His mother gave him away to his grandmother. You know, his grandmother eventually died. Then his mother gave him away to some people who offered to adopt him. You know, those persons abused him, you know what I mean? Them use him and so on, beat him. He eventually went back to his mother to assist with taking care of his younger siblings, and he was also abused by his mother. The abuse was so much that, you know, Babandi eventually checked himself in our boy's home. He went and reported that his mother died because he wanted to get away from the abuse. You know, he was eventually placed in a boy's home where he grew up, and this is where he actually learned music, you know what I mean? So a very, very interesting story, and we're going to delve a bit into his musical journey, as also his eventual death at old age from sickness. So people, Keith Anderson, better known by his stage name Bob Andy, was born on the 27th of October in the year 1944 in Kingston, Jamaica. His mother used to work at Upper Camp in Kingston. You know, say that is the soldier camp. But you know, at the age of 7 years old, his mother sent him away to Westmoreland in the countryside of Jamaica to live with his grandmother. You know, he was there giving his grandmother assistance and so on and so forth. You know, his grandmother eventually ended up dying. You know, his grandmother was an elder lady and she ended up drop out. After which his mother gave him away for adoption to some other people. And this was when he started to really face the realities of life and how hardship can be, as he was subjected to a lot of beatings and abuse by the persons who adopted him. You know, them use him to do everything, you know what I mean, whole heap of hard work. And when him complain, them beat him. As a matter of fact, them hardly want to give him food. And I know that a lot of you all who are watching now can relate to situations like this. A whole heap of people out there now will go through a whole heap of traumatic situations whilst growing up. You see what I say? Yeah man, mother never around because they never have it, father never around, and people claim say they might help you out. And instead, you know, them use you, them abuse you, and in some cases, you know, a whole heap of sexual assault, and them sitting normally come with it. Especially little girls and even boys, them can't even talk about it because when them talk about it, them get beaten and them get shoved aside. So a lot of people go through them type of abuse there growing up. After several years of going through this abuse and battering, he eventually returned to Kingston to live with his mother and assist with taking care of his younger siblings. However, it was no different as it relates to the abuse because his mother, maybe because of the pressures of life, or she just never liked him, used to beat the heck out of him also. Yeah man, the mother used to beat him and abuse him. And the abuse was so much that to escape from the beating and the battering from his mother, he tried to get a place at the Maxfield Park Children's Home by making up a story that his mother had died. He and his mother ended up in court where he was made a ward of the state. You know, his mother actually said that she can't manage him, you know what I mean? And he was so comfortable in going to the Maxfield Park Children's Home. And this was where he taught himself to play the piano, and he began singing as part of the Kingston Parish Church Choir. He was also a member of the local scout troop, and this was where he met Tyrone Evans, with whom he formed the Binders. Babandi was also one of the founding members of the Paragons, along with Tyrone Evans and Howard Barrett, with John Oates later joining briefly before being replaced by Vic Taylor. Andy left the group after Oates rejoined and worked for Studio One, delivering records and songwriting before embarking on his solo career. In the year 1967 was when Babandi recorded his first solo hit song, a song titled I've Got to Go Back Home. And you know, he did not stop there. He followed up with songs such as Desperate Lover, Feeling Soul, Unchained, and To Experience. He also composed songs for other reggae artists, including I Don't Want to See You Cry for Ken Booth and Feel Like Jumping, Truly, and Melody Life for Marcia Griffiths. He had several hits in the late 1960s, including Going Home, Unchained, Feeling Soul, My Time, The Ghetto Stays in the Mind, and Feels the Feeling. Some of these and his 1992 hit, Fire Burning, have come to be regarded as reggae standards, and several have been covered several times by various other up-and-coming artists and established artists. In the early 1970s, Bob Andy recorded with Marcia Griffiths as Bob and Marcia, initially for a studio one, but later under producer Harry J. Johnson's tutelage. They had a major hit in the UK with Young, Gifted and Black. They spent some time in the UK promoting the song by doing some tours. You know, they toured with Elton John and Gilbert O'Sullivan. When the tour ended, they were still not getting any money and were told by people in England that RJ had got the cash and cheated them out of it. So after they returned to Jamaica, Andy said when he left Jamaica, RJ did not have a studio. But when they returned, you know, RJ had a studio and a brand new Benz. So you know people, producers over the years have been taken away from the artists, you know what I mean? Even in the most obvious of ways, and you know, use bullyism and badmanism to kind of keep the artists them down and keep them aside. The people them sing them hit song and this man collect the food and he invested in himself with the money, you know what I mean? Build a studio and he buy himself a brand new Benz, whilst the artists them can't even find food after them just come off for one tour. That don't make no sense, and that is very discouraging to a lot of artists, and that are the thing will cause some of them to even turn to drugs. But regardless of his struggles, Andy continued without Johnson's involvement and returned to the UK, where he recorded Pied Piper with Marcia Griffiths and they toured again. Pied Piper gave them another top 20 hit, but the duo was dissolved when Marcia Griffiths decided to join the I-Trees. As a result of all the fight and the struggles and the pressures that Bob Andy was facing in his music career, you know, he was upset and basically disappointed with the music industry. And in the year 1978, he decided to give his music career a break and decided to take up creative dancing with the National Dance Theatre Company. He also concentrated on his career as an actor, starring in the films Children of Babylon in the year 1980 and The Mighty Queen in the year 1989. Bob Andy relocated to London, where he worked as a producer and recorded with Mad Professor, for whom he recorded a dub version of his song Book Album. Bob Andy later moved to Miami in the United States. In the year 1997, he released a new album titled Hanging Tough, produced by Willie Lindo. Andy toured Africa for the first time in the year 2005, performing at Bob Marley's 60th birthday concert in Addis Ababa. And while in Ethiopia, also sang at the President's Palace and gave benefit concert for the 12 Tribes organization at the Rastafarian Movement settlement in Sasamali. The Jamaica government conferred the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander on Bob Andy in October 2006 for his contribution to the development of Jamaican music. In March 2015, Andy was mugged on Mona Road in Kingston, Jamaica and robbed of over 50,000 Jamaican dollars and 2 cell phones. The assailants also cut him on his left arm with a knife during the attack. And you know, a lot of other very influential Jamaican artists, to include Michael Prophet and many others, cited Bob Andy as their main influence towards having a music career. So on the 27th of March in the year 2020, at the age of 70 years old, you know, Bob Andy, after a battle with cancer, eventually passed away, you know what I mean, ending the life of a true legend of our music, you know what I mean, one of the foundation, you know, a very, very influential artist back in his days, you know. It is only sad that these artists never really get the opportunity to earn the amount of money that them really should have earned to build that type of legacy that they would have built, because these entertainers put in a lot of work over the years. You know, them time that you never have social media, you know what I mean? Man did have to actually out in the world and I put in the work and I spread the message from the genre to supporters, four corners of the earth, you know what I mean? Whilst them again new supporters. You see what I say, people? So, but I have to actually lift a cap to them people here who put in the work. You see what I say? So, you know, peeps, salute Babandi, true legend of our music, and we have to give him what is due to him. You see what I say, peeps? Anyways, that is my bit as it relates to Babandi. You can leave your views in the comment section. As also, you can like, subscribe, and share. Peace.
I don't know how much you will recognize that title for the song, but I could see what I'm doing now.